Hello, good morning, students. So, yesterday we tried to discuss about the case study. So, in the social and life science, a case study is a research method involving an up close, in depth, and a detailed examination of a particular case, right? Any individual case. That case may belong from the medical field or film industry or politics or agriculture, or it may be from any field. If that case, when we are going to study, we need to go up close or very close of that particular case, or in depth, we need to go deep, because the each and every matter in the case that are interconnected to each other, right? So that's what the detailed examination we need to do. For example, a case study in medicine, suppose if you are doing in medical field or in any medicine, may examine a specific patient a doctor treated. If any doctor is treated to the patient with the particular medicine, so what happened with that, what is the absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, what is the kind of drug interaction, drug food interaction, or contraindication, adverse drug reaction, side effect, what happened. So that we need to observe deeply, up close, and detail. When it comes to the case study in business, might study a particular firm's strategy, right? Or generally, a case can be nearly any unit of analysis, including individuals, organizations, events, or action, right? So what is the strategy has been taken in that business, that so that they have got this much of profit or this much of turnover, or succeeded in their turnover per year, right? That's what in any unit of analysis, right? Including individuals, it may be any film star, it may be any politicians, how he started his career and how he has completed. So what happened if it is any organization or any company, for example Dr. Reddy or Sun Pharma or Pfizer, it is the top company in the world. So how it started their business, what type of product they launched first, what they manufactured, and today their turnover is the number one position in the world. Or any event or incident, it may be any flood or any types of for example filmfare award function. So what happened, how long it is going on, and what is the expenditure they are doing per year, what is their budget per year, or any types of action taken by government organization or any governing body. That for example now, yeah, the action, the government has taken the initiation that the nobody can beat the child, the those who are below 5 year in front of public or in the any social place. If you beat them, or if you scold them, there will be the legal case will be registered against the particular parents or cousins, right? So like that we have to go detail into these kind of case study. Here in this slide you can see the case study belongs to the many types of conduct. For example, the first one you have see here, research. So case study is nothing but one kind of research where we have to the find out the truth what happened in that particular case, and you are going to collect the data, because data is only going to reveal the things what happened exactly, what was the condition, which condition it happened, what was the circumstances during this case. Then you have to that condition you need to examine, or you have to go for examination of the each and every steps and method, which method you are taking to study the case, and what are the method has been taken during the case, right? In depth, because each and every case it is connected with each other, so we have to go in deep. Because it is not that if you are going to study any psychological patient, so you have to go to their childhood, what happened, something happened in their childhood, that's what today they are behaving like a psycho, or they are multiple personality disorder, or so many movies also has come into the different right. So in that you might be seeing that they are when they are going for study, they are going to their flashback, their background, what happened in their past, who were their parents, and what happened in school, what happened in society, something like that, right? Analyzing, you have to analyze critically. Here you can see the microscope image it has given. So analyzing means you need to investigate the each and every things happen, and ultimately you are going to produce the result which is going to tell the entire story what happened there. So here you can see in this line, these case studies are likely to appear in formal research venues as journal and professional conferences rather than in popular work, right? It is not going to reveal in any popular work. It it will be there in the journal and professional conferences. Here the case study research, as I told you, the case study is the one kind of research. In case study research can mean a single and multiple case studies. It's not be always individual or only one person, or like in Narendra Modi any research, or in Amit Shah any research, or in Chandrasekhar Reddy in any research. No, it may be the multiple research, any organization like BJP, Congress, TRS, like that, or any of the medical field, for example global hospital, what they are doing. So it may be the multiple, because each and every case will be interconnected with each other. Can include qualitative evidence, right? And release on multiple sources of evidence, right? Because evidence, ultimately evidence are only going to tell that what has been happened with that particular case, and benefits from the prior development of theoretical propositions, right? So that's what when we are giving that any theoretical proposition, proposition, that we need to produce the data, or that data may be the evidence, that proof that what happened there, right? So coming to the third slide, the first line, it is suggesting that the case studies may involve both qualitative and quantitative research method, right? It may be the qualitative or it may be the quantitative research. Single subject research provides the statistical framework for making inferences from quantitative case study data. These data which we are getting, that will be giving these data, it is providing the statistical framework. The framework, we can have this framework and we can go for the analysis, right? The another line suggesting that the another suggestion is that case study should be defined as research strategy, right? What is the your plan, what is your strategy, what is your action to do the research in that particular case? An empirical inquiry that investigates a phenomenon within its real life context, right? You have seen the Gajini movie, right? So in Gajini movie, what happened actually, the person, he was the short term memory loss. So one of the medical students, he has taken that case to do the study, that what happened in his past, that then he she went to the different files, then she went to the particular person, then she came to know that some incident happened, somebody has kicked in the head of that, and then lot of injury got, and then he started the forgetting the thing for every 15 minutes. So like that, we need to inquiry, and that phenomenon will be getting you the real life context. The third paragraph suggesting in this slide, a case study does not necessarily have to be n is equal to 1, right? It should not be the always the individual, right? It may be the multiple person, as there may be many observations within a case, many individuals and entries across many time periods, right? So it is not that the one time he got something, then he started forgetting the things, or any incident it happened, it may be interconnected, I mean to say, is across many time periods, right? Let us see the history of the case study, what happened and when it started. What is the actual case study? It started initial. The Frederick Lee Play first introduced the case study method into social science in 1829 as a handmaiden to statistics of his studies of family budgets, right? So he started the family budget, how much be the expenditure of per month, per 6 month, and per year. What are the going the things, like from the grocery, room rent, electricity bill, water bill, petrol, medical, right? Everything. So he has started doing that. If the poor family, how they are doing managing the things. If the middle class family, middle class family, middle high class family, how they are maintaining their budget, what kind of. So he started that thing. Then at that time onwards, it is known be that the case study. In all these disciplines, case studies were an occasion for postulating new theories, as in the grounded theory work of sociologist that Bernie Glaster, he was done first in 1930, and Anselm Starus in 1916 to 1996, right? So he postulating the new theories he has started in this discipline, and further it was developed. One of the areas in which case studies have been gaining particularly is education, and in particular educational evaluation, right? We are investigation. So that's what you from the people, you are doing the case study in hospital. That's what it is. Any medical field people or any medical person who are involving in the case study, they are doing it for the education purpose or for the educational evaluation as the part of their project, as a part of their work. The last paragraph, comparative case studies in social science, policy, and education research discusses one approach which encourages researchers to compare horizontally, vertically, and temporally. Right. So it is not that the only one side you are studying and it is going to be complete. You need to study in all the sides. Right. That's what there is a policy or guidelines to complete. So where we are going to use this case study, what is the use actually of the case studies? Case studies have commonly been seen as a fruitful way to come up hypotheses and generate theories, because until and unless you will not come to know about that case properly in all the way, you are not going to tell about that particular case, that what is going to be the theory, what is going to be the hypothesis, right? So case study are also useful for formulating concepts which are an important aspect of theory constructions, because Lewis theory, posture theory, Newton theory, whoever has gone that different theory which is available today by the different scientists or different contributors, they have gone to one kind of case study. So whenever you are going for any case study, ultimately you are concluding with the one theory and you are constructing one theory. When it happened, this is the theory. Okay. The second paragraph suggesting that the concept used in qualitative research will tends to have higher conceptual validity than concept used in quantitative research, right? So here quantitative research and qualitative research, what happened here, it have higher conceptual validity than the concept used in quantitative research. Due to the conceptual stretching, the uni-intentional comparison of the dissimilar cases, which cases are not equal, not similar, not same type, then in that case this will be having the comparison. Case studies add descriptive richness. It is going to give you the some more other data which is actually not there. The third paragraph, in use through fine gained knowledge and description, case studies can fully specify the causal mechanism in a way that may be the harder in a large n study. Large n study means n is equal to 1. So it is going to be the n is equal to 2, 3, 6, 10. It may be anything, right? Case study of case that defy existing theoretical expectation may contribute knowledge by detaining why the case violated theoretical predictions and specifying the scope conditions of the theory, right? Alexander George and Andrew Bennett, what they did, they argue that the case studies are very useful in situation of the causal complexity, where there is a equifinity, a complex interaction effects and path dependency. They argue that the case studies may also be useful in identifying the scope conditions of a theory, whether variables are sufficient or necessary to bring about an outcome. So Alexander George and Andrew Bennett, these two people, they have told that the equinfinity complex interaction effect and path dependency we can use, where we can implement this case study, why it is necessary when the variables are sufficient. So we can go for this kind of case study they suggested. Using case study in research differs from their use in teaching. So research and teaching, both the place their use are different. Where they are commonly called case methods, case book methods, right? So that's what in both the place when you are going for research, the data which you are obtaining that will be different. It may have to when you are going for teaching, and in the teaching field it is going to be different because each and everything cannot be explained here. That's what case method and the case book it is known as. The teaching case studies have been a highly popular pedagogical format in many fields, ranging from business education to science education. The Harvard Business School has been among the most prominent developers and users of teaching case studies. So here they have given the name of organization, Harvard Business School. They were the most prominent developer and users in the teaching case study. What is happening in teaching in the village area, in urban area, in the city and the metros, right? Business school faculty generally develops case studies with the particular learning objects in mind, right? So right from, for example, in Japan, the childrens are up to the fifth class. They are not going to complete any kinds of syllabus. They are only bothering about the how to develop the manner, how to develop the behavior, how to be act with the people. Likewise, so objective in mind, learning objective in mind. The additional relevant documentation such as financial statement, timelines, and the short biographies. Short biographies means any of the, like any politician, any film star, often referred to in the case study as exhibits, and multimedia supplements such as video recordings of interviews with an case subject often accompany the case studies, right? So similarly, the teaching case studies have become increasingly popular in the science education. The National Center for the Case Studies in Teaching Science has made a growing body of case study available for classroom use or for university as well as secondary school coursework, right? So until and unless if you not go for the case study, what is going on, what happened, what is the error, what kind of mistakes has been done, how the students are not able to enrich the subject main theme, you are not going to rectify that. That's what this. And there is a certain limitation in the case study, right? So limitation in the sense unable to yield strong causal interference. The primary problem is the qualitative research lacks a sufficient number of observation to properly estimate the effect of independent variable. When the variables or when the subject it is independent, it is not going to have the sufficient number, right? The number when, because it's the, for example, if you're doing in the animal study, why you are taking in each group n is equal to 6, in each group 6 rat you are taking. Why it is 6 rat instead of 6 rat killing, you can go for 3 rat or 2 rat? No, why always it is necessary? Because if any animal will die during the study because of xyz reason, because of fever, because of cold, because of some indigestion or any health issue, so you will not be having the variables to compare. Ultimately you are going to compare with the same age of animal, same sex of animal, same species of animal. That's what the variable should be sufficient number. The commonly described limits of case studies is that they don't lend themselves to generalizability, right? So that is the one another limit, that they are not going to the themselves into the generalizability, or it is not simplicity will not be able to obtain. As n small n or the variables is very small, researcher should not be rely on random sampling. Scholars must be careful in avoiding selection bias. When picking suitable cases, a common criticism of qualitative scholarship is that cases are chosen because they are consistent with the scholar's preconceived notions, resulting in biased research. So here what is happening? The selection of bias or suitable case. Whenever you are picking any case, if the number of variables, if the number of object it is not a sufficient number, again you are going to fail to conclude the biased research. Research methods. In business research, four common case study approaches are distinguished. The first one, there is the no theory first. The first one is there is no theory first type of case design, case study design, right? So whenever you are going for any case study, if you are going with the any kind of theory, again this case is going to be different because there are so many cases which are unique and individual. You cannot refer anyone's work. The second one, the second type of research design is about gaps and holes. What are the gap of information? What are the hole of information? You have to consider that. The third design deals with a social construction of reality, right? Social concept construction of reality. What kind of false beliefs it is coming on tradition to tradition, generation to generation? We should not believe on that, because this case which you are going to study, that may be going to be the novel one and nobody has defined before it. So that we need to understand. Social construction of reality, right? Now till now there is a belief that if you will go for jhar phuk or any kinds of baba hakim or something like that, your cold or your fever or your covid-19 will go away. If even still people believing nowadays in the villages. So if you see that, ultimately if being a medical store, you know that if you are taking any medication or any drug, the drug is getting absorbed and binding with the receptor and it is showing its effect, then you are going to get the relief from the particular disease and disorder. And there is a science behind that. No magic, it is working, but still people are believing as per the tradition. So you are going to construct social construction of reality. What is the reality behind that? Behind that reality is that ADME of the particular chemical moiety or drug. Finally, the reason of case study research can also be to identify anomalies. Each of these four approaches has its area of application, but it is important to understand their unique ontological and epistemological assumptions. There are substantial methodological differences between these approaches, right? So that's what these are the method. Case selection and structure, when you are going to select the case and how it is going to be the structure or frame. An average or typical case is often not the richest in the information. Whenever you are taking the new case, you might not be having the sufficient information about that. Suppose diabetes or anti-inflammatory or cancer or AIDS or COVID-19. So you have to be careful and you need to select in a such a way. In clarifying lines of history and causes, it is more useful to select subjects that offer an interesting, unusual, or particularly revealing set of circumstances, set of situation, the particular situation it is going to, that's what history and what are the precautions, the causes, right, that you have to going to take and it is going to be useful. The case selection that is based on representativeness will seldom be able to produce these kinds of insights, right? When selecting a case for a case study, the researchers will therefore use information oriented sampling. The sampling should have whatever the sample you are taking, whether it is person, whether it is animal, whether it is drug, whatever it may be, anything, it should have information oriented. Some information initially you should have, that reveal more information later on than the potentially representative case, as seen in the case selected for the more qualitative safety scientific analysis of accidents or incident. A case may be chosen because of the inherent interest of the case or the circumstances surrounding it. We have to have the interest in that case. For example, if you select now COVID-19 as a case, so already it is having a lot of interest. Anything you are telling about coronavirus, everybody is ready to listen and they are carefully listening. Now, if you will tell about the any back pain or leg pain, nobody is going to listen because a lot of things they have already heard, right? So it should be the TRP or the publicity or the interest of the people that should have more in that. Alternatively, it may be chosen because of researchers in-depth local knowledge. Where researchers have this local knowledge, they are in the position to show and poke, right? So here you can see the shock and poke is important, and thereby to offer respond lines of explanation based on this rich knowledge of setting and circumstances. Three types of cases may thus be distinguished for selection: key case, outlier case, and local knowledge case, right? So these three types you can see into the later on. So we are going to continue the class in next, start another thing in the next class. Whatever the frame of reference for the choice of the subject of the case study, like key, outlier, local knowledge, there is a distinctions to be made between the subject and object of the case study. The subject is the practical historical unity through which the theoretical focus of the study is being viewed. Theoretical focus, what has been done. The object is the theoretical focus, the analytical frame. Thus, for example, if a researchers were interested in US residents to communist expansion as a theoretical focus, then the Korean War might be the taken to be the subject. The lens, the case study through which the theoretical focus, the object could be viewed and explicated, right? So here the seven types of case study or case selection strategy it has given. The typical case, the first one, the typical case are cases that exemplify a stable cross case relationship, right? These cases are representative of a larger population of case, and the purpose of the study is to look within the case rather than the compare it with other cases, right? So typical, that's what it's known as the typical cases, right? Second one is suggesting that diverse case. Diverse case means, as the name indicate, the variables will be more. Diverse are cases that have variation on the relevant x and y variables. Due to the range of variation on the relevant variables, these cases are representatives of the full population of the case. The third one is the extreme case. Extreme case are the cases that have an extreme value on the x or y variables relative to other cases. The fourth one is the deviant case. These are the cases that defy existing theories and the common sense. What is the, we need to understand the common sense behind that. They don't only have extreme value on x and y, like extreme case, but defy existing knowledge about the causal relations. Influential case are the case that are the central to the model or theory. For example, Nazi Germany in theories of the fascism and the far right. The sixth one, the most similar case, many of the cases will be same, like in diabetes lot of cases are available, are cases that are similar on the all independent variables except the one of interest in the researchers. And the last one is the most different case, or completely different cases are the case that are the different on all the independent variables except the one of the interest of the researchers, right? Like, so likewise we are going to complete the